All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
They moved it on there.
Here.
I'm playing there on the wall.
That was like
Alrighty.
donkey.
Ready for a roll call?
Okay, Jim Dodds.
Here.
Tom O'Connor.
Here.
Michelle Beatty. Here. Kurt Wynn.
Here.
Aaron DeBerg.
Here.
Angie Hopping.
Here.
Tricia Hawk. Here. Jeff Bethmeyer. Is there anyone from finance? Jerry Harris. Marie Collins. Doug Heinsohn.
Here.
Joe Strange.
Here.
Alex Cott.
Here.
Kathy Cumby. Here. And that's it.
Alrighty, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve agenda.
Second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes out approval of minutes.
Motion to approve minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. Off and running. General Manager's report.
Okay, just a quick update on, so Water Patrol this past week wrote 41 letters for failure to display current registration stickers on boats. We're going to send an e-blast out reminding the membership, but if your boat is on or above the water on May 1st and you don't have a sticker, the penalty is a 30-day suspension of your amenity rights, and you have to take the boat off the lake. So we're going to hopefully avoid that happening to anyone. The wading pool retiling is currently underway. The next steps in renovation are the resurfacing and then painting the water features. So that is all anticipated to be completed prior to Memorial Day for the opening. We are going to be replacing our pool fencing this year as well. We're going to do that after the season due to the materials not coming in until right before the pool opens. We just don't want to cause an issue where we may not be able to open on time, so we'll do that this fall. And then we've been looking into the option of adding a restroom in Lakewood Park. And the only current, without going to the city for permitting yet, the only current obstruction was that there's a utility easement there. We found the city of O'Fallon holds that they're willing to vacate it so that we can use that space. And so we're just waiting on legal to create the agreement. And aside from that, I have no other updates.
Alrighty, very good, thank you. Old business. The permit for the drawdown pipe abandonment has been approved. The start date to be determined. Do we know anything more on that? Any update?
Still to be determined. They are anticipating soon, but with the rain coming, they need 2 weeks of relatively dry weather. So we're still waiting on a start date.
If it gets closer to boating season, is that going to be an obstruction to boats and stuff? Will we wait, or can they do it if boats are, will
They can do
get
it.
closed?
They'll be completely out of everyone's way. So they'll be in the silt basin off of the boulevard and basically running the concrete into the pipe that's under the lake. So it
Okay.
shouldn't affect anybody.
Okay.
All right, that's all. That's it for old business.
Yeah.
For new business, we've got legal fees. I believe we have a total this past month of $1,914.20 that we did review in executive session. Do I hear a motion to approve the legal fees?
Motion to approve legal fees.
Second.
All approved, all in favor?
Aye.
Any not in favor? Motion passes. Moving on to the ambassador's annual fireworks request. I had actually, we had already talked about this and already informally agreed that we were going to donate the same amount that we had last year, and the ambassadors needed that money a little bit early, so we approved a check before we've actually approved it. So, but we are in line to approve it now, so I would entertain a motion to approve the fireworks request.
Motion to approve ambassador's annual fireworks of $86.60.
which is the same.
As last- same as last year, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I should have waited until there was a second. and had discussion.
Second.
Okay. So this is the same amount that they requested last year, so it was not an increase. So, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's it? Oh, wait. So,
So I would like to make a C on new business, if I'm allowed to at this point.
absolutely.
Okay, so my motion for C of new business is that I would like to recommend that we change the name of Jefferson Point property as part of the Lake St. Louis Community Association and change it so that we now start calling it Donnie's Point, reference to Donnie Harrell, who's given 52 years of service to the community association. So that's my recommendation, is a change of the name of that property to Donnie's Point.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion that we would like to have?
So will this be part of like a ceremony? Is this part of a retirement party? I mean, how is this gonna be unveiled and, I mean, how is?
I would expect a ceremony, retirement gathering at the location with hopefully a sign that we could put up at that time.
Yeah, I have, yes, we would plan a dedication ceremony, and the one request that Donnie's had is he doesn't want a lot of attention, so we'll have to think through how to mitigate that. But yes, yeah, we'll get signage ordered and have a dedication ceremony and a celebration for him.
Maybe we overrule them a little on the attention.
Yeah.
Maybe. So it's 52 years is a long time and deserves
Yeah.
a tip of the cap, so. Any further discussion?
I do have a question.
Yes.
And I should have thought of this before. I'm sorry. Do we need to put this out before we vote on it? Is this one of those things?
I don't think that this is the kind of thing
Okay.
that needs a 30-day notice for the
I literally
public.
just thought about this.
Yeah.
I asked that same question, and I personally don't think it needs a 30-day, but I'm not unwilling to wait 30 days.
I feel like this is pretty much just kind of, it's a ceremonial thing, so it's not like it's materially affecting anybody in the CA, so
Like,
to
does
change.
is that an address? Like, right now, is that one Jefferson Point, could you mail something to that?
No.
I mean,
No.
so
You
it's
can-
not.
no.
So
just
right
us,
now,
yeah.
it's kind of ceremonial
Right.
almost that we call
I
it
mean, you
that.
it's
can
named
usually
after-
get
It's
directions.
just traditional,
Right.
kind of, that we call it Jefferson Point. It's not a legal name
I have
on
no
that
idea.
plot.
I don't know the answer.
It's not a legal name
No.
on the plot.
So, and this won't be a
It
legal
does
name
have
either.
It does
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
physical address though, which is like, they all
Out
have
the road or
addresses,
something
they have
like
to have
that, or
emergency
whatever.
addresses, I
Or
don't
Veterans
recall.
Memorial.
That's what I was wondering, like, from an emergency standpoint, if there was an issue that happened at Jefferson Point, Donnie's Point, and somebody had to call and said, I'm at Donnie's Point with emergency, how do they know?
John and I can work with St. Charles County because John Stone has set up our addresses at other parks that don't have a physical address.
Okay.
And the intention is to post signage, and it is for emergency services. So if an emergency happens there, you can tell dispatch your location.
Got
Since
it.
a lot of those
Okay.
don't have,
Okay,
but it's not posted anywhere.
John have something to
Yeah,
add?
there is an address that was given for that, so that we could get internet into that location.
gotcha,
But it has nothing to do with Carl Jefferson Point.
okay.
or
Is there-
whatever. So it's a matter of probably more than anything is getting the police department, fire department alerted because they do use those names a lot.
Okay.
Is Jefferson Point in like maps and publications, and is there a sign? I mean,
Yes.
is there money associated with also changing the name?
There'll be money associated with ordering a new sign for it. It is listed, I believe, on our maps as Jefferson Point, so we would have to get those reprinted. Or we could just run out through what we have. We give out quite a few maps, so we could just update it as things change.
That's what my recommendation would be, is just the main sign.
There's nothing else I can think of that, not off the top of my head, that would be costly.
Seeing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
So
The motion
3-2.
carries 3-2. All righty, no further new business. We'll move on to finance report did not meet. E&F did not meet. Architectural control, is she here?
Marie's not here.
So no report from them. Lakes and Parks?
I think the first item under old business, I think, has already been forwarded to you guys. I think that you had that for a couple of meetings regarding the Lakes and Parks and finance working collectively in the future for future boat registration fees. Did you guys act on that, or?
We have, to my knowledge, I wasn't here for the last meeting.
No, I don't think we're gonna.
Okay. So we're bringing that to the board for approval. The next item was kind of brought about by a resident who came in and had some issues with item 26 of the Lakes and Parks Rules and Regulations. They felt as though...
Let's take care of the motion on the proposed boat registration fee structure first. And then we'll move on to the next one. Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Well, yeah, we'll get right back to that. I would, we have not discussed this as a board. I would recommend, if it was me, that we tabled it for now and came and circled back around to it.
But July is,
It's all done.
July is like tomorrow.
Yeah,
What we were
yeah.
trying to do was have it not wait until
The last minute.
the last
Right.
minute, and so we were just trying to get some kind of discussion around there. I don't remember it talking about it being July, though.
Well, it's a proposed for 2025,
Yeah.
so it's not like we don't have a minute to think about it.
I can't
Right.
think of any reason that we wouldn't want them to do it though. Can you?
Right. I don't have any problem with the two
Okay.
committees getting together.
Yeah,
and-
for sure.
And if we have
I
to,
don't
as a
think it's
board,
until
agree that
July,
it's,
but-
it's reasonable that they have a joint meeting,
Okay, well, I would entertain a
I don't
motion.
see- Yeah, I don't see a negative here.
so, Saber and Tess, the finance, so I would recommend that the Finance Committee and Lakes and Parks Committee work together to develop a proposed 2025 boat registration fee structure to present to the CA Board of Directors by July of 2024. And I basically read what you'd provided us, so I'll make that motion, and it will be up to the Finance and Lakes and Parks Chairman to figure out how to incorporate that. Does that work for you?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, so next, on to the next motion. Sorry, Doug.
Okay, the next item was brought about by a resident who had some concerns about the verbiage and the way item number 26 was written. Their concern is that item 26 basically states that no towables are to be on the land side of no-wake buoys at any time. Their concern is they routinely load up their children on tubes at their dock in a safe zone and then proceed at idle speed out to the no-wake, and then they take off and they resume their tubing operation.
Technically in violation of the rules, right?
Technically in violation of the rules, but in the name of safety, it's the safest thing to do on a busy Saturday afternoon where you've got, you know, counterclockwise solid boats. So I think it's foolish, we felt it's foolish to put your people out there in harm's way. But then we had to kind of come up with, we still don't really, the committee doesn't feel like we should open this up to some of the more congested coves, like the gas dock, Villa Cove on a busy Saturday afternoon where you've got to zigzag through the boats and everything. So we are proposing rewording of number 26 for the board to approve, and it kind of entailed Rule 7 as well, because we had to take the tubing verbiage out of that and just left it as is with the fines attached. So if you read through those two motions, we're asking for board approval on those. First one was approved 7, or unanimous. The second one was approved by our committee 6-1.
Okay, so I'll make a motion for Rule 7 to change the rule to no person shall operate a watercraft in such a manner as to endanger the life, limb, or the property of others. Penalties are first violation, $250 plus a 30-day suspension of amenities.
That was a motion?
Yeah, I make that
Do I,
motion.
do I hear a second?
I don't, what's the prior language?
I'll make a motion to table this so that we can review.
Yeah, I
the
need to
changes.
know what
Okay,
the
so-
Oh, I
changes.
have the prior language.
It's, yeah, it should
I need
be in
some
your
time.
packet in the Lakes and Parks meeting minutes.
Okay.
This is a bad thing. That's what we're doing.
Okay, yeah, that's,
Yeah, if you go to their agenda,
So, I've made a motion, there's no second, which I'm fine with. In discussion, I'm not always up to speed on remembering the 30-day criteria, but I do think that this doesn't hurt to be a 30-day criteria.
It's not, it was
Prior
in their
language isn't
packet.
in here. So I want to
not in
table
there.
this. I need to know what the prior language was. And it's not in our packet.
so, we will just, I think, giving some, you have the actual
Yes.
prior verbiage? Would you like to
Yes.
read it? I'm not, we're probably still going to table this, I think, but,
That's fine.
but yeah, if you could read the previous version.
No person shall operate a watercraft in such a manner as to endanger the life, limb, or the property of others. Penalties are first violation, no, that's the new one.
Yeah.
The next sentence is tubers are prohibited from being towed in or through the posted no-wake areas. This is dangerous to both the tubers and other boaters.
And-
That's the.
So we're taking out a portion of it and then,
Yeah,
right.
because that is addressed later in 26.
Yeah, the real issue is that we identify, we have two things that define a rule, and generally you only want things defined in one location rather than have it mixed into two different rules. And so, rule number 7 is a simplification to eliminate the tubing verbiage out of rule number 7 and only contain it in rule 26. And again, I'm not pushing to have this decision now, I'm just trying to get that information out there.
But we're also making a change, that this isn't, it's not just simplifying 7 because it's in SIT 26. It's taking it out of 7 and changing the rule in 26. So
It
it is
is-
a change.
So yes,
There is no doubt that the two things together make a change.
they are directly related.
Right, and with the ultimate change requested being specifically allowing people to tow from their docks out of the no-wake zone. Which, yeah, there was I happened to be at the Lakes and Parks, there was a big discussion about it, and I think the consensus was the way that it came down makes sense, and it doesn't, I think it's okay to table it and circle back around.
So I move
if that's what you'd like
to
do.
table the motions regarding tubing regulations.
So the rule 7
Till
and rule
next meeting.
26,
Yeah, till next meeting.
and I'll second that.
Any discussion further? All in favor? Any opposed?
So the only thing I would say is, let's make sure in our minutes that we get the verbiage of the prior for both of those.
I made a note for it.
And then does it make sense also for that to be put out publicly somewhere in the interest of the 30-day notice
Yes.
on the blast? Even, yeah, I mean, it's just a procedural rule change because the Water Patrol has never enforced people bringing kids tubing out from their docks. They've never enforced that, and Kurt was worried about technically violating that rule, even though that's the safest way to do things, and you didn't want to open it up so that people are towing people at idle speed through Slow-Mo Cove.
Right, I understand that. I am in the same position where I although not from my dock, but at the entrances and exits of the coves, I will routinely dump all the kids into the water in the no wake zone before I'm out in, in the proper part of the lake. So my argument on this, and again, I don't think this is probably out of order here, but I think that it doesn't say, I'm still potentially violating the rules in the spirit of safety.
Yes.
And so I think, and it was discussed in Lakes and Parks, I prefer it to say within 125 feet of the wake area. That way, what you say you do is appropriate for some of these larger coves. And I don't think that Lakes and Parks would have a major problem with us switching the verbiage versus calling out the 6 coves. And that was discussed in Lakes and Parks. And again, I think that's a possibility for the final version.
So I don't know moving forward, but you're the liaison to Lakes and Parks, right?
That's me.
You are. Okay, will you chat with them about it? Right here, but you guys can discuss it further.
There was a pretty spirited chat already, I can tell you that.
We kind of massaged this thing for a very long time that night, and this was the best solution to keep everybody happy and to keep everyone safe.
But I think, as a board, Lakes and Parks makes a recommendation. At some point, we're allowed to massage their recommendation so that we like it, rather than have to be perfect lockstep in. So if we decided, as an example, that we like the terminology of 125 feet of the wake area, and the reason why I use 125 feet is that's the normal distance of the no wake buoys from the shoreline in where there's normal locations. It's 125 feet, or no, you're right, 100 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's 75 feet from the end of a
Whatever the
dock.
number is.
So come up with a number,
Yeah,
and that does allow for the loading and unloading at the entrance and exits of coves.
Yeah, and I think if we've tabled it, I think we can chat
Yep.
about it, and
Yep.
then,
we can,
they can chat in the committee, knowing kind of what's been said here and how if they want to reformulate it. If they don't, we can do whatever we want.
we can.
Later.
Yes, that's perfectly within our bounds. So, okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Moving on, Joe Strange, old business.
Request of the Board of Directors approve to amended tournament schedule as was submitted to the office. The check is cleared by the office.
What
We
exact
had asked
changes?
for some tournament dates at the last meeting to be altered, and the board tabled it because Becky hadn't had a
Oh,
chance
yeah.
to check them.
Okay.
So they've been checking, they're fine.
Okay, so,
And so then, once we vote this, then we'll update our website to document it.
Yeah. She actually has already moved everything. That's typically our practice, just so we don't make some mistakes.
Make a motion, we approve the amended tournament schedule.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to recommend that the Board of Directors approves Steve Beeson as a golf committee member.
Motion to recommend the board approve Steve Beeson as a golf committee member.
And we always have to ask, or I always have to ask, is that a 2027 end of time, or?
A 3-year term.
Actually, be 2028, because if I read the charter correctly, if you enter in the middle of a year, your first year that starts on January 1st.
We don't have a second yet, though.
Second, I'll
Okay,
second.
there we go. Now the discussion.
Oh, but we're gonna add in the 2028?
Add in the 2028 term.
Is Steve in good standing?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Is Steve in good
Yes.
standing?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he and his wife have already agreed to take over the global tournament.
There you go.
I see what you're doing.
You got a second.
All right, yes, do we have any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion
I
carries.
have one other thing I'd like to bring up, that just kind of came up in the last few days. Our spring fling is supposed to be this Sunday, weather permitting, and it's a big question mark right now. And we did not submit any rain dates. So I'd like to submit with Becky's approval as far as the events, that we reschedule it if necessary on either May 5th or May 19th.
Go ahead and table that till Becky.
Well, she can just schedule it, I mean,
Oh.
if you guys are okay with
It'll
that.
be a little too late.
Yeah, it'll be too late.
If he just reaches out to Becky and we can make one of those dates work, we can.
I'm fine with a reasonable rain date.
Okay.
If that date conflicts with any given golfer, will they get their money back, or?
Yes, we'll work with everybody. I mean, yeah. We sold out, just to let you all know, we sold the spring fling out in 35 minutes. So we're gonna look at some different ways, maybe either expanding it. Right now, we allow non-CA members to play. We may have to not allow that anymore. So, I mean, we have people a little bit ticked off because all of a sudden he came in. We had signed up from 10 to 12, and by 10:30 we're sold out, you know, so.
How many non-CA members are playing?
We allow one non-CA member per team, but I don't know exactly the number of non-CA members. I don't think it was that much, but yeah, we have to do something because these tournaments have become so popular up here. There's more golfers all the time, so.
Do we need a motion to approve the
Yeah.
alternative rain date?
Yes.
Would entertain that?
Motion to approve alternative rain dates for the spring fling for either May 5th or 19th, sorry, thanks, Jeff.
Pending
With-
Becky's approval.
With Becky's approval.
Okay.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Courts Committee.
Yes, sir. Looks like we had some conversation to be had about cabanas
We do.
on old business.
We do.
Yes.
Okay.
So the board had asked me to look into the cost of locating the tendons and the tennis courts so that we can actually mount the benches, and found a relatively inexpensive contractor that can do so. So this is still on the agenda because the cabanas themselves are not approved yet.
So I would entertain a motion on the recommendation that the board of directors approves the purchase of 2 cabana benches.
We're gonna do 2 motions on that, right?
I think so. We'll do the motion on the
Okay.
cabanas first, and it'll be contingent on
Yep.
the tendon location.
Okay,
But I need a motion though.
yeah. Motion that the CA Board of Directors approves the purchase of 2 cabana benches for the LSLCA tennis courts in the amount of $7,005
As submitted.
as submitted.
With a contingency that,
Well, we're gonna make another motion, right?
okay, I don't know. We're not
Do we
buying
need
the
to do
benches, so
that,
we
or-
can't put- we can't
I
bolt
think
that.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that motion will be fine. Do I hear
Yeah.
a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
And this was in the capital budget, too.
This was in the capital budget, and initially, we looked at it and thought it was kind of a slam dunk, and then we realized that we couldn't really mount it on our tennis court system because of the post-tension system set up there. So, we had to resolve that issue first. I feel like we found an issue resolution for that, so that's therefore why it's up again. So, is there any further discussion?
Well, I mean, I just wanted everybody to know that that we can bolt them down. If we can't, if they come out and radar the concrete and we can't bolt it down for some reason, we're not gonna buy the benches.
So it's contingent on being able to locate a suitable
Intended,
spot
Right.
to put them on there where
Which
we're not
shouldn't be
gonna
a
blow up the court. Shouldn't?
Never does.
Yeah. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then we'll need a second motion for the.
What was the company's name?
145.
Was there a company? I don't remember the company's name.
Can you
I'm
help us
sorry.
out with our verbiage on the
Sorry.
motion here,
I just
Heather?
didn't know the company's name, I think I have it.
I don't know that.
Did we have
Oh,
it?
it was in the executive.
I didn't put the company's
Yeah, I don't
name,
think I
but
did.
it's basically, it's contingent on locating
Yeah.
the post-tension rods.
Okay.
So-
It doesn't matter what company does it.
Yeah.
Okay, motion to approve the location of the post-tension rods before the installation of the benches on the LSLCA tennis courts.
Second.
With a cost not to exceed.
1,000?
Anything
What was
like
it?
that? Like it was I mean.
It was
I would-
145.
I think
245.
not to exceed 1,000 seems comfortable.
I think that's
Heather?
fair.
Yeah,
I
it
think
should
we
not
already
be
knew
that
so it didn't,
much.
not
So-
to exceed $1,000.
Okay. Do we hear a second? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So cabana benches are in motion. So people will be happy about that.
Why you flipping it off?
You gotta cross the other fingers, you gotta cross the other fingers.
Jeez, we just gave you Betsy, now
We're done.
Okay, all righty. Anything further from courts?
Yeah, just a brief, everything's underway for tennis and pickleball clubs. They're up and running. The men's tennis in the morning is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And they've been playing, and the ladies are on Tuesday and Thursday morning. Everything's going good there. The junior tennis clinics, the spring's session is underway, nearly done. And they have 3 more sessions this summer and in the fall. Pickleball, the morning pickleball club, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday mornings, filling up the courts over in Lakewood. They're having a good time. They're using the new Pickleheads app this year and getting organized. Mixed pickleball group is Wednesday night and Saturday mornings, and those have been underway as well. So we've had some decent weather here recently. Tennis events, we had our tennis kickoff last weekend, went well. We filled up the courts there and had all kinds of good snacks and foods and fun and just being together. We have 3 events this month for tennis. We have Cinco de Mayo on Cuatro de Mayo.
May the 4th be with you.
So,
Star Wars Day.
unless it rains, then it could be on Cinco de Mayo. That's May 4th. Then Friday night under the lights. That's our first Friday night under the lights tennis on Friday, May 17th. And then we have a Memorial Day mixed doubles tournament on May 25th. So you'll be seeing this communicated out on the e-blast and in the newsletter. So we've got a lot of stuff
Awesome.
underway.
Great,
Thanks,
Been
Alan.
running. Is that it?
Yep.
Very good, thank you, sir. All right, moving on to general comments from residents. Do we have anybody that wants to speak?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
I just wanted to say, take the opportunity to say this as a general session meeting. About 3 months or so, I had an opportunity to visit with the board in executive session, and I hope you remember the thing I started out with is I personally feel that this board has an opportunity to be a good one, and not just a good one, a great one. They can bring a lot of skill sets together and working together to do it. And I did ask some very direct questions, made some direct comments, and Aaron, I'd like to say thank you to you because you gave me very direct comments, and I believe every word you said. And you're now at the 6-month stage, so the newbies, you get ready to walk out of the new board member status and into time to keep things rolling along. And I absolutely believe this board has a chance to be fantastic. And with the support of staff and security, and the committees, that it will happen. And I just want to say thank you for all the time that you do in volunteering and for our community, make it unique and great.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the residents?
And now it's got.
Hi.
We moved here 3 years ago, and we're very happy to be here. Although I will tell you that our experiences with the restaurant have not always been that great. And recently, through the grapevine, I hear that you had somebody taking from the till and that person was let go. Also heard they were related to other members of the restaurant staff. I don't understand why I only hear about that as a rumor. Oh, the other thing I heard, you aren't going to prosecute. The only good reason for not prosecuting is to have that person tell you exactly what happened and who was involved. And I know those are personnel issues and we can't discuss them here. But from my perspective, it's a total management issue that you have stealing and that the restaurant does not make a profit. I think there should be an investigation. Maybe there has been. But I think that the way I feel about it, she didn't steal from the CA. She stole from all of us. And that not to be informed of that, I think was inappropriate.
So I'll speak a little bit to that, and I'll let Heather pick it up if she likes, if she wants to. It is a personnel matter that we're not going to discuss in detail. What you're hearing are just rumors, and I can tell you that some of what you're saying is not factual. But I can also tell you that it did in fact happen, that we let an employee go recently. And that is what you do when you catch somebody doing what they did. From our standpoint, it's a matter that's closed. How do I say this? I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but the financial impact on the CA is negligible. It's not like this person stole $10,000 from us. It was a pretty small amount, but it was theft nonetheless. So that person is no longer working with us, and it's a closed matter from that standpoint.
No investigation?
It was investigated. It was caught on video.
extensively investigated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, and I don't want to give, this is really inappropriate, honestly, to even come to a meeting and ask these questions as though a private matter with an employee is public information. I don't know any company that shares that with everyone. I mean, that's just a legal nightmare, but I can inform you that an investigation was done. We do have cameras, we do have checks and balances and systems in place, and unfortunately, an issue was discovered and the penalty for that was termination. I would never tell the entire membership about something like that. That's just not, so, and what you're hearing is not factual. They're not related to anyone. There was no, the board was informed as is the procedure, end of story. But I won't participate in any rumors disparaging that person or further expounding upon that, because again, it's just really inappropriate.
I'm not asking you to.
I'm saying what you've come in and suggested is all rumor. It's, what you heard is untrue. I don't know where you got your information, but it didn't come from me, and I'm really the only one aside from the board that knows the extent of the matter, so I don't know.
So am I correct that the restaurant typically loses money?
Every single amenity here loses money.
I can say, having been on the board of directors in 2004 through 2006, the restaurant consistently lost money. I think Greg can say, being on the board prior to that the restaurant consistently lost money. I don't know that the requirement is that the restaurant be neutral. Now, we'd like it to be close to neutral, but it's not always going to work out that the restaurant is going to be neutral.
And it's gotten significantly better, too.
It actually has gotten significantly better, so it's the least losing amenity that we have.
It's
The golf course loses over $175,000 a year. The swimming pool loses a significant amount of money. No offense to Courts. Courts brings in very little money for the expense to maintain that amenity. The lake costs a fortune. I mean, every single amenity, including this clubhouse and the restaurant that you have, is supplemented in some way, shape, or form by assessment revenue. And that is the point of a community association. That's by definition what your assessment revenue goes to, is maintaining these amenities. So they all lose money.
And there has been discussion in the past to try and reduce the fat, if you will, for things that don't pull their own weight. But that's never been a feasible thing, because we frankly wouldn't have anything left if that were the case. So, yeah.
Getting back to the investigation, was that done by an independent third party?
That wasn't, this was not some complex white collar crime. It was a pretty clear cut and dry. We have cameras, we have security systems, we have balances. I mean, it's not something we would need to hire someone to do. But just for the record, I do have a significant human resources background and I have extensive experience doing investigations, and there's no need to hire someone when you have that skill set already.
And so how long did the theft occur?
I can't discuss this matter. This is honestly, as I said,
Yeah,
not
this is,
something we would.
we're gonna move
talk
on from
about.
this. This is the discussion that's done from that standpoint. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
I think we've been pretty clear.
So does the amount also, is that something that you can discuss?
We're not confirming or denying any particulars to the case. I mean, that's the bottom line. We can't talk about that.
I mean, can we focus on that we have, we've identified it and we've rectified the
And we rectified
situation
the
as best
problem.
as we can with the firing of the employee? I mean, we have to move on from this, but, I mean, what else would you want us to do?
There's nothing underhanded about what happened after the fact.
So
You need to know.
will be a report issued?
Negative.
To who?
To who?
There was no report,
Well,
There was a report from the general manager to the board.
which is exactly how personnel matters are supposed to be happening. It was done by the book.
well, it goes beyond the personnel matter.
Why?
No, no, sir.
We just need to move on.
We're moving on. Are there any other comments from the board or for the board? Okay, general comments from the board members.
You got anything?
No, it's almost summertime.
I agree.
Golf course is looking good. The lake hopefully will be ready for Memorial Day, and tennis cabanas are on their way. Things are looking up.
Pray there's no more rain. I don't want any more rain. I like sunshine for boat time.
Tom?
Yeah, just thanks to all the committees for all your help and everything. Appreciate all the input.
I'll note that last month was a lot quicker meeting than apparently we know that Jim and I are the problem. But thanks for being here tonight.
That was awesome.
I just want to say also, just thank you. We have this master subcommittee workshop that's started up. So community members that are participating, Greg, thank you very much. And look forward to continuing to improve the community and having the board support.
Motion to adjourn.
Heather, any comments?
Oh.
Can I make a comment?
Oh,
I would like to
okay.
echo Michelle's comment. I'm very excited about the workshop that the committee that Greg is working on. I appreciate that, and thank you for the fine comments. And I'll entertain a
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?